So today I'm in College Station, Texas. Behind me, the George Bush Presidential Library. That's President Bush 41, not 43. His presidential library is in Dallas, Texas. One of the neat things, for me anyway, in the main rotunda when you come in there, there's a great big painting, Resolution. It's President George Bush and his war cabinet during the Persian Gulf War when they expelled the Iraqi army from Kuwait. The neat part about it for me is the artist of that painting, Mark Balma. I've actually met him. A friend of mine works with him, and I got to meet him at one point. And very talented artist, cool painting, but all of his work is just really well done. Anyway, you go into the museum, typical presidential library museum. They trace the life and times of George Bush, family history. His father was a U.S. Senator, Prescott Bush. It gets into the war years. George Bush was the youngest naval aviator at the time during World War II. He was shot down and actually was rescued by a submarine. Pretty hefty resume for George Bush. He was in the U.S. Congress. He tried to get elected to the U.S. Senate. He didn't make it there, but then they appointed him to U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. He then served as the chairman of the Republican National Committee, ambassador to China, as well as the director of the CIA before he became vice president. So lots of experience doing lots of different things before he was then elected president in 1988. I've been here before. There quite a few changes, well, a number of changes anyway, since the last time I was here. Originally, there was not a replica of the Oval Office. A lot of the presidential libraries, most of them, have a replica of some sort. George W. Bush, the son of George Bush, his presidential library has an Oval Office. You can actually go inside and you can sit in the chair, and it's really cool because none of the other ones you can't really do that in. I don't think any of the other ones, not at least when I was there. Well, they've since added a partial replica of the Oval Office. It's not the whole thing, it's just kind of the back half, but you can go sit down in the chair and they'll take your picture for you. So that's cool. That replaced, they had a section of Air Force One. That was neat because no other presidential library had that. The Reagan Library now has an actual one of the Air Force Ones. The Bush Library replica was of the 747, the current Air Force One aircraft that they use. That's not there. They replaced it with the Oval Office. There's a replica of President Bush's office up at Camp David. It seems like presidents don't use Camp David as much as they used to. I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Camp David, so this is maybe as close as I'll ever get. So, very good library. And then the grounds back behind here, you walk down there, there's a little pond, and then there's a trail that goes off in through the woods, park-like setting. There is the future final resting place of President and Mrs. Bush, George and Barbara. Also there now is their youngest daughter, Robin. She died in childhood, so she's there. This was my second visit to the George Bush Presidential Library. It was also my second stop today. This wasn't even my primary goal today, since I have been here before. What I have not seen before, Texas's replica of the Liberty Bell. Every state has a replica of the Liberty Bell from back in the 1950s. This is on the campus of the Texas A&M University. It's the oldest building on campus. It's in the center of the main campus complex. Underneath the rotunda, it's kind of cool because it's not down on the ground like most of them. It's hanging up in the air, and so you go in there and you can look up at it, and it's hanging out over the seal of the Texas A&M University. I did learn a thing or two while I was here. There's tours going on of prospective students that I suppose want to attend here in next fall. And so while I was in the rotunda taking pictures and everything and checking out the Liberty Bell, a couple of different tour groups came through, and so I got to listen in on the tour guide.
It's a replica of the Liberty Bell. So where's the Liberty Bell? Y'all know the real one? It's not in New York. Nope. Nope. It's in Pennsylvania.
What I learned was that part of the reason that the Texas Liberty Bell is here at Texas A&M University is that during World War II, a fair number of students volunteered for the war, served in the war, and so as an honor, as a reward to Texas A&M, the Texas governor then presented the university with the Liberty Bell. So I was going to go to San Diego. I've got a week's vacation here, but because of bad weather in Atlanta, all kinds of stuff got mixed up this past weekend, and so the flights going out to San Diego didn't look very good for getting a seat on them, and so I came here instead. Flew into Austin last night, got to stay at a friend's house. Thanks, Cheryl, for putting me up and putting up with me. So then this morning, then I drove out here and checked out the library here and the Liberty Bell. Now I'm going to head back to Austin and fly home tonight. So, till next time, from Texas A&M University, I'm Roger Johnson. We'll see you next time.